Yeah, but it's unlisted. That's what you usually would say.
Okay, man. Right, shalom, shalom.
Shalom.
This is GMS England, UK. We're having another lesson, part 2 of our previous Genesis, the third chapter breakdown. First and foremost, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakodash.
And double honors to the apostles and the great millstones who rule well. And peace and blessings to the elect, man. So yeah, we're just going to get right into it. As I said, you know, this is the second part of Genesis, the third chapter.
That's right. Thank you for the introduction. And in the last one, we got up to Genesis chapter 3, verse 11. But what we'll do, we'll go back to Genesis 3 and 9. But just to recap, remember we have nations are described as what?
Trees.
They're described as trees. Alright? The fruit is described as what?
Philosophies, teachers.
The philosophies of the other nations, alright? Okay, so we have to recap on that because many, you know, the imagery that they've shown, especially Esau's shown, you know, over the millennia is over, you know, an actual serpent, you know, is around a tree. Oh, and a couple of cracker Adam and Eve. Well, if that's the case, where did we come from then? If they were Adam and Eve, where did we come from? That don't make any sense. But if it's the other way around, does that make sense? That would have a lot of sense. So that's why we're gonna go back to the source.
Well, I mean, like what you said makes a good point because even in biological terms, man, they make all the different shapes, right?
Yeah.
Edomites can't do that. Have the genes to create, you know, the brown melanin in the skin. So, but we can produce, and it's been documented, it's been seen, produce Edomite in children, right?
Yeah.
Because we can, you know, we can do all of it. But you're right. It could never have been so-called white people as you know, in the beginning. There was none. We established that last time in the lesson.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, that mark of Cain hasn't been established yet.
Right.
Yeah. That serpent was a man of color. You know, it was a person who had melanin. Okay. And it was a man. It wasn't a person. So look up the definition of serpent. Let's get that first, so we can recap on it. We put it out in the first one, but for edification's sake, let's bring it out as well.
Right, so the definition for the word serpent, I'll read the second entry. It says, a high or treacherous person, especially one who exploits a position of trust in order to betray it.
Exactly where you're reading it from as well.
Oh, that's the Google definition.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Yes, yeah. Okay, cool. And read it again.
So the Google definition for the word serpent, the second entry is...
No, first. Cool the first one as well.
Snake.
Alright, that's the first entry, yeah? Alright, go on. Second entry.
The second entry... Oh, well, actually, on the first entry, when you expand it a bit, it bullet points a biblical name for Satan and see Genesis 3, Revelation 20.
But you see, and it's important that you read the first bit anyway, because the whole reason why the world believes, you know, I mean, there's a reason why it believes that it was this, you know, not the whole world, but the majority of the world believes that we're talking about a talking snake. But we, you know, when we read, you know, Genesis from the beginning, when you read it from the beginning, it doesn't tell you that animals can talk.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. You know, the Lord didn't give animals dominion over men.
It would have said in the scriptures, man. It said, yeah, he made all the beasts of the field, and then he made the serpent, but he allowed the serpent. You know, it didn't say that, man. You know?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense whatsoever. So it says, second entry is a what?
So the second entry for the word serpent in the Google is a sly or treacherous person, especially one who exploits a position of trust in order to betray.
See? It's to betray. But in order for you to have any kind of betrayal happening, there has to be some engagement, some kind of, you know, some kind of conversation. how did a person get so close for you to even, to start, to push your philosophies on them? That's another thing that should be asked as well, man. All right.
That's why it says in the book of Ecclesiasticus.
I
It says,
didn't get that.
it says,
Let him get it. Let me read it. Let me read it.
Okay.
He's got it.
Yeah,
He's got
so-
it. Let me read it.
Yeah, Surah 12 and 10. Never trust thine enemy, for like as rusteth, so is his wickedness. Though he humbleth himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. And thou shalt be unto thou hadst wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust have not altogether been wiped away. Set him not by thee, lest when he have overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place.
Set him not by thee. See, set him not by thee, man. So if you don't have, if you break that commandment, then hey, the joke's on you. Whatever happens, man. The Lord does not have his words, all right, written on whether back then was orally or here now for us to ignore it, man. His words are what? Life. Okay? Life. And without, well, what is it? Death. So it don't make any, it don't make any sense. That people are talking about it's a snake and everything like that. That it's a talking snake and serpent. There's kind of a dominion of animals ruling over men. That didn't happen.
So like you know the history of this country well, and didn't they do that when we was in power, man? We had them up in the courts, man, and they ended up, next to us as rulers, and then taking over, man. So that spirit of that serpent has been continuous.
Yeah,
you can't let these Edomites next to you, man. They were plotting and scheming to take your spot, like always, man.
Yeah, right.
But like I said, the history better than I do.
Yeah.
Precept.
There's a bit more in this, Brother Kushai, if I may. It says, verse 12, Surah 12 and 12. Set him not by thee, lest when he have overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat. And thou at the last remember my words and be picked therewith. But here's the point. Who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent, or he such as come nigh wild beasts?
You see? And that's exactly what he did here with the English Civil War. Well, 1 minute they're petitioning the king and saying, look, the king is oppressing us and not giving us due rights. The next minute, they're declaring war against the king. The next minute, they won the war. The next minute, they abolished the monarchy. So, but how do they get up in there to even have any power to get that? Because we
Allowed them in.
and we allowed them in. And the starting point of that was someone Googled Black Death. I think it's 1348 to, so I think it was like 7 years. And in that 7 years, it killed half the population of England and half the population of Europe. That was the Lord not playing, man.
Yeah, so the Black Death was a bubonic plague pandemic that occurred in Europe from 1346 to 1353.
The name says it is, man. Black Death.
The Black Death, man. Black Death. Black Death.
You go, if quick side note, if you've ever been to the London dungeon, right, they will show you all the history there with the mannequins, or they're not mannequins, but like the waxworks and that, right?
Yeah.
And they're all depicted as being Edomites, man. But in those times, they're so-called black people, man. You got to look into these names. The word black is in a lot of it features in a lot of areas and roads and towns, buildings in this country, man, and that's for a reason, because we were here, and you have to. So even in this truth, wrapping your head around that takes a while, man.
Yeah.
These crackers will never fathom that. I shouldn't even say crackers, really, but these Edomites will never fathom that. Then they'll never fathom that. They can't believe that they haven't been in a position of power all this time,
Exactly, yeah.
I looked up a bit on the Black Death, just a little side note as well.
Yeah.
If I can bring it out. It says it's saying about the 1346, 1353, and I typed in, when did the Black Death reach the UK? It says abstract from the 1348 to 1550, the Europe was devastated by an epidemic. That's worldwide epidemic. Pandemic is local. Epidemic of plague called at the time the Great Mortality. If I'm saying that right.
Mortality.
Great Mortality, and later the Black Death. The epidemic reached southern Europe from the Middle East and spread northward, reaching England in June 30.
God.
It's when it reached England. But the dates are correct on what each school have.
I've got a preset.
And I'm telling you, that was it destroyed half the population of England. You know, within 7 years. So the law wasn't playing, man.
Business completion as well.
Yeah, exactly. So that was the kind of like the tipping point of like Jake having to need because of a labour shortage, because you've had 7 years of death everywhere. So that's how they're able to get up into those positions of power. Who's going to be your blacksmiths, your bakers, your publicans, who's going to do these things? So that's how they got up there. And once they got up in there, they gained more power, more influence. One generation led to another, getting more power, and another generation got more power, you know, and then they started to outpopulate us in certain places in England. So that's how it led for them supplanting us, more or less.
I've got a preset to add to your point. 2 Corinthians 11, and it says, for such are false apostles, deceitful workers, because you said how they was able to get up close with us. So gives us an idea here. Deceitful workers, transforming themselves unto the apostles of a Mashiach. Marvel, for Satan himself is transformed unto an angel of light. The missionaries, you know, the missionaries, they was able to go around the globe. The example of the Native American, so-called Native American Indians, Gadites and the Reubenites. They was given those blankets,
With smallpox.
Smallpox and TB, the tuberculosis, which is how they was able to weaken them. And it says there because these were the missionaries of those times. Deceitful workers transforming themselves unto the apostle of Mashiach. For Satan himself is transformed unto an angel of light. So they came, the treaties, the 500 treaties, and they didn't keep them. So that's how Satan is able to deceive, by getting up close, transforming himself into an angel of light.
What reminds me of as well, those residential schools as well.
Oh yeah.
Those residential schools were Esau used to lock up these Galite kids in a Roman Catholic school, and they used to brutalize them, man. They used to molest them sexually, physically, mentally. You know, all kinds of wicked shit, man. But he was what? An angel of what? Of light, man. Like, the devil can really teach us about morality. Here it is, you're committing a genocide, and then you're going to the people that are committing a genocide to go and look after your kids. Come on, man.
I mean, they're always depicting themselves as the heroes of the you know.
Yeah.
Even when we talk about the movies, every movie you see with some Edomite hero in it, like there, and you know, it gives them this air of like hero. Watch it. And they're gonna start mining for whatever's there. With his oil, what is oil there, you know. Watch them put a central bank in there. It's the next thing after that.
Precept.
That's true.
This is Sirach 19:22. It says, the knowledge of wickedness is not wisdom, neither at any time the counsel of sinners prudence. Because you're saying about they can't teach righteousness. All they can teach is wickedness.
Yeah, they pretend, man. They pretend to be this, these righteous people, man. They will see them on social media, online all the time, talking about how good they are and what they would do in this situation. None of them do any good, man. The simple things, and we're gonna get back into the scriptures, but I'll say this: the simple things, right? Just watch them. You stand on a street corner for half an hour, with homeless people around. Watch how these Edomites move, the heroes of the human race. Watch how they move against their own people, man. They don't even look after their own people. They can't even look them in the eye, man. You know. Let me tell you something. If I'm walking down the street, and I'm not, this is not to boast or be braggadocious as the elder, right? But if I walk down the street and I see a Jake and he asks me for money, if I ain't got the money, I ain't got the money. But I'm not gonna ignore the man. He ain't there. All right. I'll acknowledge the man and say sorry. I can't help you, right? And you know how much that means to certain people when they're on the street, just to know that they're not invisible.
Yeah.
Their own people, they look upon them, or they don't, but they have a look of disgust on their face that their own, that one of their own was asking them for some help, man. So they're not heroes, man. Right? They're selfish. They're wicked. It's in their nature, man.
Got precept.
That's in their real nature. That goes back to the what? The nature of the serpent, man.
Seed of the wicked, man.
Seed of the wicked, man.
I've got a precept here.
Oh,
Book of Ezekiel, it boils right back down to hatred. Ezekiel 35 verse 5. Because thou hast a perpetual hatred and had shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time their iniquity had an end. So when you go back to that word perpetual, let's go into the blue letter. Perpetual. And it says, strongly H5769. And it reads, long duration. They always have a hatred towards us. Antiquity. Is it antiquity? Forever and ever. Forever and ever. It's always been that way, that hatred. Old, ancient world. Ancient time, long time. Right? Forever, always. So no matter from back time, they always have a hatred. And going to the future, they're going to still always have a perpetual hatred. Be washed away. Right?
That's right.
So that's the wicked. Yeah?
They're gonna have that. They're gonna have that hatred for us, but in the kingdom, they're not gonna have no power to exercise.
You're still gonna have it then. You're right.
Yeah,
You're still gonna have it then.
So yeah, it's kingdom when we have the slaves. You're gonna still have that hate for us, but you're not gonna have any power whatsoever to actually. Even if you look at us the wrong way, boy, Lord help you, man.
That's what's gonna make it even better, man. Knowing that they still harbour them real feelings, man.
Yeah.
We want you to keep them feelings, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because when we're kicking your ass, it's gonna make it even more satisfying.
Yeah.
Just made your daughter a comfort girl. Yeah, how you feel about that? Yeah, I mean,
You still got to work.
yeah, you still have to work tonight. Don't matter how you feel about your woman, your daughter being a comfort girl. You think you have no power to do nothing, man. But you know what? In slavery, they were doing that, and they were doing some real nasty shit with our women, man. They were, they were doing some. They would have like Christian wives. Alright, and one, and have a nice Christian family, but then they'll have a slave who's a black woman, and then he'll be freaking off with her and doing all kinds of abominable, nasty stuff with her, and he'll involve his friends and everything like that. All of that went down in slavery, man. Alright, so all of that has to be repaid,
Much more, man.
and much more. Alright. So let's start from Genesis 3 verse 9. Right.
So I just got a quick precept just to prove that
Yeah.
the serpent, wasn't a talking snake. Because, the scriptures say, let all find decently and in order. So when you go back to Genesis 1:26, it says, and the power said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over fish of the sea, over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. So just right there goes to show you that there's no way it could have been a talking snake, man. Because that's not the order that was set up.
True.
There's a way that it would have the power.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Exactly, yeah. It's just totally out of kilter, and that kills it dead, which is a beautiful thing,
Simple though, really, when you really get into it, and these are the things that, it's good to know for the scoffers, man. The scoffers and the schoolers that want to come up and start talking about talking snakes and all of that.
Yeah.
we're equipped. You know,
Yeah,
you need to be equipped to be able to deal with these guys, because they come up once in a while. You know.
So you wanna go to 3 now, 3:9,
Verse
yeah?
9.
yeah.
Okay, verse 9. And the Lord our power called unto Adam and said unto him, Where art thou? And he said, I heard thy voice in the garden, and I was afraid.
He said the voice. He said, I heard what? I heard thy voice.
Thy voice in the garden.
And remember, heard thy voice was who?
Prophets.
Prophets, huh? Alright? Yeah, so the Lord already had, back then, prophets telling, look, Eve, you're going off here. You're not supposed
You can pull the scripture on.
yeah, you're not supposed to be looking at these other trees.
Basically, they're getting called out.
Getting called out, So that's the voice. The voice of the Heavenly Father is who's through what? His prophets, man.
Just one verse. Luke 1:70. As he spake by the mouth of his holy prophets, which have been since the world began.
Wow.
There you go. So since the world began. So in the garden, the prophets of the Heavenly Father. Alright? They know right from wrong. Alright? And they are the Lord's ambassadors. Just like now with the elect. The elect is, we're Zion, we're the monument to Heavenly Father, because we are a reflection of Him on the planet Earth. That's a big, heavy responsibility to have it on your shoulder. But it's a noble cause, and rightfully so. Alright. So read that one again, verse 10.
Verse 9, yeah? Finish up 9 again, yeah? Verse 10, yes, Silakia.
Verse 10.
And he said, I heard thy voice in the garden, was afraid because I was naked, and hid myself.
So when it says they were naked, what were they doing? They were indulging in all of the philosophies of what? Other nations, huh? Alright? They were indulging in it. And I remember the person that was doing the selling of this lifestyle was who? The serpent, right? So you can imagine back then, like now you have on TV like advertising campaigns and they sensationalize things. You can imagine the serpent back then is, you know what, you ain't know half of all that stuff over there, that homosexual stuff, that's okay. That's good, man. That's alright, man. Doing this is okay. It's alright. It's enticing it.
Come over here, you can do anything you want.
That's it.
Yeah, you want, man.
You're free.
Yeah, like Pinocchio, Pleasure Island, where the children get to run free and do whatever they want, but there's a price to it.
Yeah.
And that getting turned into art, which is a metaphor in itself.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. See, so, yeah. But there's consequences for what? For actions, man. We're talking about the only one true way of the Heavenly Father. So this is not something that should be taken lightly, man. So when it talks about them being naked, they're indulging in those ways, man. Who's got that? Jeremiah 10:1.
Got out there. Yeah. But I had a quick precept, if I may, on that point.
Okay, go on.
Romans 6 and verse 3 says, For the wages of sin is death, but the gift of the Most High is eternal life through Yahushua HaMashiach, our Lord.
That's right. The wages of sin is what? Death. All right. And death is a rightful place for a sinner, man. But we've got something called grace, man. And that's a gift. And that gift is only for the elect. All right. They were back then on the scene, and they're back here now, man. And they're doing what we're doing right now. All right. Rightfully dividing what? The word of what? The word of truth, man. Alright?
Good precept.
So when it talks about them being naked.
And I hid myself.
Yeah, and they're being exposed for doing all their wickedness, man. Everything that they were supposed not to do, were enticed to do it now.
Good.
And when it happens and you know that you should not have done that, alright, so primarily you've been taught not to do that, what happens? You know, something will change.
Brother Caleb just read, it says, Sirach 25 and 24 says, of the woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all die.
That's right, man. Through the woman came begin sin, and through her we all die, man. You know? And that's a moral example of a man living through his woman. Alright?
Oh, so that's another precept just for, because look, this is 1 Corinthians 11 and 3. It says, but I would have you know that the head of every man is Hamashiach, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Hamashiach is the Most High Yahweh. So, first and foremost, she has no business trying to coerce him to do nothing, and he was a fool for, you know, listening to us place.
Quite
He's over her.
yeah.
He ain't supposed to be doing what she's telling him to do, man. So I'll be around. And remember, these laws, the laws, you know, although not being written, they were all, man. They knew the deal.
Yeah, exactly.
They knew the deal, man.
Yeah, they do. See? So that's why it talks about them being naked, because once you start indulging in all those wicked philosophies, you ain't covered with the spirit of Yahweh Shemashah no more. You're in spirit. I had this one guy years ago came up to us telling us Buddha's the way. And you know what? I think he fancied one of my friends. Because you know what? He came to the camp and he was debating, and once my friend came, he kept saying to my friend, Buddha is the way, Buddha is the way. And my friend, you know, he's a big, muscly kind of tongue guy. I said to myself, you know what, I think he likes you, man. You know what I mean? But he actually, Buddha was the way, man.
Buddha, man.
It's bugged out, man. What can you do?
What was Buddha gonna do for you, man? Or any of these other false deities, man?
Yeah, so that guy is extremely He's extremely naked, man.
Yeah.
Alright? He's open to all the elements. He's naked. He hasn't got no covering whatsoever because he's bugged out. And the Lord has made him that way. Alright? So that's when I told you those wicked philosophies. Alright? That are opposite to Yahweh Shemashah's way. You're naked, man. Okay? You see, you got one?
You got Jeremiah 10.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
Jeremiah 10. Thank you.
Right, Jeremiah 10 from verse 1, it says, hear ye the word which Yahweh speaketh unto you, O house of Israel.
Yep.
Thus saith Yahweh, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven,
See?
for the heathen are dismayed at them.
See, it says, learn not the way of the heathen. Heathens are who? Non-Israelites, man. Alright? Non-Israelites. Okay? You see?
For the customs of, verse Jeremiah 10 and 3,
Yeah.
customs of the people are vain,
Yeah.
for one cutteth a tree out of the forest.
And just give you an example here. One of them is basically this Christmas garbage. And unfortunately, that was propagated more by our people, man. More wickedness by our people. Right? Can you see?
One cutteth a tree out of the forest,
Yeah.
like the work of the hands of the workmen with the axe.
Yeah.
They deck it with silver and gold.
Yeah.
They fasten it with nails, with hammers,
Yeah.
and that it move not.
See?
So definitely, you said something there, man. Because it says what? Learn not the way of the heathen. Man. But we have heathens in our nation, man. Them Jakes that are going heathens, man.
Yeah.
They're heathens.
Israelite foreigners.
Yeah, you are. You it's true.
Yeah, their mind.
You Israelites that are not in His truth, and you're bugged out on something. You're heathens to us, man. You're not a part of this whatsoever. All right. Hey, anyway, and that's a big get that John, 1 John 4 and 17, because the Lord says He's gonna start at what?
House, yeah.
At the house of God.
Oh,
man.
1 Peter 4 and 17.
Yeah.
We mean, you know, they're not heathens as in the other nation. We have to clarify sometimes, you know, people.
Yeah.
But they're moving in a heathenistic way. Man.
Under the vibration.
Yeah, they're under the vibration, man. You know, they're doing exactly what everyone else. They may as well be there, man.
That's right.
You know, foreign, like who said it? Israelite foreigners, man. You know,
Is it?
Israelite foreigners, man.
That's what they are, man. They're nothing but deceivers. We don't give a damn about you. You know, we don't, if you get kidnapped in Dubai, we're not gonna do a petition or what, anything like that. You know what I mean? We're not gonna raise money for your mama or whatever. Nothing, man. Alright? You got 2/3 of bugged out people over there in America. They can support you bars over there, man.
Oh, yeah. Can I bring that scripture out since you said that word, Baba Kushar? That's in Hebrews chapters 12 and because this used to be one of my favourites. Hebrews chapters 12 and it says
Get
12 and 6 says, For Yahweh, for whom the Lord loveth, he chastiseth and scourgeth every son whom he receives. If you endure chastisement, Yahweh dealeth with you as with son. For what son is he whom the Father chastiseth not? But if you be without chastisement thereof, all are you are partakers, then you are bastards and not sons.
Yeah, and you have to be in order to be under the chastisement, man. Is that you know you know the Lord is you know that's the Lord doing it. You know, this comes from the Lord, man. So in order to understand that it is from the Lord, you have this truth. You know, the rest of of our nation, they get chastisement, but they don't acknowledge who it is from. That's the difference. We know when we're getting when the Lord's jacking us up, man. You know.
Yeah.
You know, that's the difference.
That's the difference. And that's a beautiful thing. It stabilizes you as well. Because you know that, you know, all this is from the Heavenly Father. It's just a test, man. You know? You know, but anyway, I digress. So who's got
16, 15?
Yeah, Revelation 16. This shows you that it's talking about them being naked. It's about them not keeping the commandments.
Right, Revelation 16 verse 15 says, Behold, I come as a thief. Blessed he that watcheth and keepeth his garments, lest he walk naked and they see his shame.
See? Yeah, see his shame. And that nakedness is what? Not keeping the laws, statutes and commandments.
Yeah.
See? Alright? You're butt naked. Oh, that was that film. What's that film again? With Roddy Piper?
They live.
Yeah, They Live. And they had the glasses.
You can see the.
And and you know, they can see people that's got skeleton features.
You know, they were they extraterrestrials?
Yeah, some.
It's not even
It's not even
religious, is it?
established, it's just
They
they're
were just,
another race
there's
walking.
another race walking amongst people.
Yeah, some madness like that. And you look at thing, but that's like it's truth. A lot of people they can't see what we can see. So it's like, alright, here's the gun. They put it on, and they still like can't see what we can see. You know?
Yeah.
Alright, let's just wipe it a
I
little
will say
bit.
they have glasses, man.
Yeah,
They can't get the glasses.
We're trying to beat them over the head like he did Keith
Yeah,
David.
take the glasses.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point because he had to force them to put their glasses on, man.
Yeah.
And that's an actual attribute. I say attribute. No, it's not. It's not an attribute. It's an actual characteristic of Jake.
Yeah.
You have to beat them over their head, man.
Yeah.
That's what you say that. You know.
They're hard-headed,
Stiff-necked.
stiff-necked people, innit? Yeah, they're wise to, people, you know? So it's talking about the garment. Alright, so read that scripture again.
Revelation 16:15 again says, Behold, I come as a thief.
Yeah.
Blessed is he that watcheth with his garments,
Yeah.
lest he walk naked and they see his shame.
There you go. And that's the shame, is not keeping the little statutes and commandments of the Most High. And our people have not been doing it for a very long time now. Alright? So even back then we were going off. Alright? And that came with what? Consequences.
And remember that shame comes from them knowing. Remember, previous to them getting involved in the philosophies and that, they knew. So they know now that they're doing wicked shit. So that's shameful, man.
Yeah.
You know, it's like went into the chastisement. It's like if you do something as a child, your parents or your father chastises you and shames you because you know what you was doing was wrong. You know.
Yeah, man. You know? So, they're only too good. Alright, so let's go to Genesis 3, verse 11.
Genesis 3, verse 11 now. And it says, who told thee that thou wast naked? Hast thou eaten of the tree? Thereof I commanded thee that thou shouldn't eat it.
See, so the Heavenly Father now is speaking to, which really he's trying to basically say, he knows already that they've done what they've done, you know. They've eaten of the tree, which is the philosophy of what? That they've eaten the fruit, trees of the other nations.
Yeah.
The philosophies of the other nations. So, you know, so they've basically, how do I put this? They've submitted their will to their ways. They submitted their ways to their customs. They pledged allegiance to their gods. You know, they did vile acts, you know, to pledge allegiance to their gods. Who knows what kind of madness went on?
Yeah.
You know,
Precept.
all of the you know, the total opposite of what the Heavenly Father stands for was promoted and as something that is enticing, and it worked, you know, and it worked through what? A woman, man. All right, that's the tale for our people today. That's what happens when you do what? When you live for your woman and you allow your woman to have what? Agency. Oh, more or less over you, man. What kind of man are you? You know, don't make any sense whatsoever. So yeah, the Heavenly Father knows, you know, basically what they've done, but more or less at this point, see if they're gonna confess. All right. So get me in the Apocrypha. Get me Sirach 25 verse 24.
Come. This is Sirach 25 and 24 says, of the woman became the beginning of sin, and through her we all die.
From the woman became the beginning of sin, and through her we all die. All right. So it was, and that's talking about what is happening right here in the garden. All right, because basically, it was who that was enticed by this serpent, this man who had the spirit and cunning of a serpent, man. And he had subtlety. So he was cunning with it. He was promoting every wicked act you could think of, man. You know, he probably started, you know, doing some actions himself, sensationalizing it. You know, this, that, and the other. Then what this guy was doing, and it worked on him. You know, they broke ranks. So now, the Heavenly Father was like, look, you know, have you eaten of that fruit? All right, yeah, you got that precepts. All right, go to the next verse.
Genesis 3 and 12.
Yeah, 3 and 12.
Oh, so lucky. Genesis. And the man said, the woman whom thou gavest to be with me, she gave me of the tree, and I did eat.
So now, rather than him being a man, you know, looking up to his responsibilities, now he's saying, oh, what it's the woman. Now Adam's he's trying to blame things on the woman. Well, yeah, but hang on. Yeah, but you're the man, all right? You're the head and you're the tail, are you?
Precept.
Aren't you supposed to be, you know, the man in charge? You know? So this, you know, he's trying to blame it on her, but at the end of the day, it was him that committed the actual act. You know, by her enticement, man. Her enticement from this damn serpent.
Let me read this quick because you just said that. This is Proverbs 1 and 8. It says, my son, hear the instruction of thy father, and forsake not the law of thy mother. For they shall be an ornament of grace unto thy head, and chains about thy neck. Verse 10 says, my son, if sinners entice thee, consent thou not. If they say, come with us, let us lay wait for blood, let us look privily for the innocent without cause. Let us swallow them up alive as the grave, and whole as those that go down into the pit. So yeah, man, and that is another. These are commandments, man. Not to be enticed. You know, and that's what she did, and that's what the serpent did first and foremost.
Yeah.
And you're right, what you said, man. Better than to listen, but they were both going off, man, because she didn't know her place.
Yeah.
First off, she's out there talking to the next man,
Yeah.
being enticed. You could have enticed her into all sorts.
Yeah, for real.
Precept.
Got a precept as well.
Yeah, so actually he's trying to blame Eve, but the man is not supposed to live for his woman, man.
Yeah.
Again, verse 11,
I got it.
verse 8. You got it, yeah?
Come on.
That's the spirit.
This is. Can I bring up verse 3 and then verse 8, Bob Kushar?
Yeah, go on.
1 Corinthians 11:3. It said, "Have you know that the head of every man is Hamashiach, and head of the woman is the man, and the head of Hamashiach is the Most High Yahweh." Jumping down to verse 8.
I just want to say that's the spirit of 2 verses.
Mm.
Oh yeah.
Go on,
True.
go on.
I had a feeling it came up. Verse 8. It says, "For the man is not of the woman,
Yep.
but the woman of the man."
Alright.
See?
No, read the next one.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Neither was the man created for the woman,
Yeah.
but the woman for the man.
There you go, man. Alright? That's the order of things. But clearly, alright, in this scenario, that what happened. It was the other way around. The woman was, being enticed of these new philosophies, new lifestyles, and basically she's loving it and she's suggesting it to him, and he's giving in to her. So he can't start blaming. Well, it's the woman that you gave to me. Yeah, but you're the one that still.
Precept.
It's your woman, man. All right. What does it say? It said the head of the what?
1 Corinthians 11:3. "But I would have you know that the head of every man is Hamashiach, and that the woman is the man."
Is the man. That's the order of things. All right. So clearly, in this scenario, that order wasn't wasn't being followed. All right. It was non-existent, man. All right. And the opposite of the Heavenly Father is what? Confusion.
Right.
That's all it does. That's all it brings. All right. Yeah. Well.
This is 2 Corinthians chapter 11:3. "I fear lest by any means, as the serpent beguiled Eve through his subtlety, so your mind subtlety, so your
Subtlety.
Sometimes it says subtlety.
it literally says subtlety.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So 2 Corinthians 11:3. "But I fear lest by any means serpent beguiled Eve through his subtlety, so your minds should be corrupted from the simplicity that is in Hamashiach Yahushua."
Yeah. I've got a precept as well to back up that if I may. 2 Corinthians chapters 2 and 11 says, "Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices." Because as you were saying, that the man is the head of the house. So, the man is the head of the house. He actually was given abilities or what is necessary to see Satan's tactics, his devices.
Yeah.
Because the Most High gave it to the man. The woman is more the weaker vessel. So she's gonna, as from what we can see today, she's being deceived left, right, and centre. But really, in the garden, the woman, Satan went to the woman because he knew that she was a weaker vessel.
Right.
But as men supposed to take their stand, take the lead, being the head of the household, because he gave us what we need, and that protects the household if the law was followed. But obviously, it's not followed. But even today, even in this truth, we get temptations and whatever the case may be. We know when they're temptations, we're not from the left-hand side, because the Most High gave us discernment and the spirituality to be able to decipher the two. So this is why it's saying this 2 Corinthians 2:11 again. "Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, but we are not ignorant of Satan's devices." And obviously, the more we come to the MOTB, that's in it's in the pipelines. It's not made mandatory, but it's in the pipelines.
Yeah.
We're coming to understand and be aware of the way that they're going to try to introduce that, and plus the loosey juicy. We've seen how that operated as well. It's going to be very similar to that. The pandemic, what we see in around 2000 and 2000 up to around 2003, taking devices, but the elect, even there's always good testimonies when you talk among the elect about the loosey juicy. You always hear good testimonies because they was given what they needed to to be wise to it.
Correct.
Yeah, and that's the whole purpose of what the Lord has in store for the elect, man. Is them to be a vehicle to bring out truth, you know, and it's all linked together. I mean, 144,000, we're all connected together. We're linked together, man. All right, we're the first fruits. So this is something that is a special honor, man. You know, and this is something that should be taken, what's the word, lightly. You know, we don't take it lightly at all.
Correct.
Okay. Alright, now I read verse 12 again. Genesis
Okay.
3 and 12.
Genesis 3 verse 12 again. And the man said, the woman whom thou gavest to be with me, she gave me the tree, and I did eat.
Yeah, so now he's trying to blame it on Eve. You know, that it was her fault, etc. But no, the Lord, someone get Proverbs 31 and 3. You're not supposed to give your strength to a woman, man.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, Proverbs 31 and 3 says, give not thy strength unto women, nor thy ways to that destroyeth kings.
There you go. That which destroyeth kings. A woman you could be a king and it could be wealthy. Let's say you're a wealthy Jake in this society. Alright? And then you get these beautiful Jake women, you know? Let's say you're a footballer. One of these Jake footballers. You go, you meet wags or whatever they call themselves. Light skinned, titties, arse out, titties out, looks nice. Going out with her. I'm telling you, man, that one woman alone can destroy a man's,
Precept.
everything, man.
Precept too.
I'm telling you, a woman that can drive a man to insanity. A woman is something that should be feared, man.
Yeah.
Of course.
Especially,
Hey, I'll put my hand to that.
especially in this pussified society, man.
True, man.
Precept. You had one first. Shall I? After Amnawala.
And just, if I may add as well, that's why there's a saying in this book, man, that after God, fear women.
Yeah, it's true. True.
Yeah. That's how wicked this society is, though, man.
So this is 1 Ezra 4 and 26. It says,
Same verse, same chapter, not same verse, but same chapter.
This is great, man. It says in verse 26, many there be that have run out of the women and become servants for their sakes. Many also perished, have erred and sinned for women.
Well, back that up by reading this.
Wow. Yep, go on.
This is the same chapter, verse 4, but verse 14.
And by the way, these women are not worth it, man. They're not worth it back then, and they're not worth it now. Believe that, man. We're living in the worst era of caliber of women, man. All right, they are not worth even.
They're trash.
Yeah, they're trash. Just stay away from them, man. They're not worth. I'm telling you, don't just forsake them. Worth anything, man. And that's a sound advice. This should be a woman, man. So you go say.
Yeah, this is 1 Ezra 4 and 14. O ye men, it is not the nor the multitude of men, neither is it wine that excelleth. Who is it then that have rulership over them, or have the lordship over them? Are they not women?
Women. Shut baby.
Right, this is 2 Ezra 4 and 14. O ye men, it is not the great king, nor the multitude of men, is it wine that excelleth. Who is it then that ruleth them, or hath lordship over them? Are they not women?
Yeah, that's That sounds like the society we're in right now, man. And that's the reason why. That's another half the reason why Jake households now. There's hardly a man or woman in the house, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know.
And let's not blame it all on the women, because you have to blame the simps. The simps empowered these women, man.
Yeah.
You know, they've empowered them to make them think that they're something that they're not.
Yeah.
And also Esau's done that. He's the one that started all their movements,
Mm-hmm.
you know, empowerment movements and, you know, women's rights and all of that.
Isn't that there's another one that goes back to that curse as well. So I'm it's Jeremiah 31 and
I've got it
22.
here.
Yeah. There's that's one of the other curses that our women would especially in America. I think that guy Kevin Samuels used to talk about these American black women that were always earning a lot of money.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
They think that that's the key to
A man's heart.
yeah, them being a man basically, which is, you know, being a high earner, being a boss, and being independent and all that stuff. That's manly traits, man. Men are independent. Men look after themselves. Men are to look after their women and their children. That's the way it's supposed to go. But they've been convinced now that being a man is attractive to a man, or acting like a man is attractive to a man.
Yeah.
Listen, a man of good stature as well can find himself a woman who works in a fast food restaurant, man. He doesn't care about all that shit, all that show, because you're just gonna piss him off at the end of the day. You're just gonna act like you're on his level, man. And it doesn't matter how much money you make. A woman is never gonna be on a man's level, man.
Right.
Never.
Right.
I got a scripture to back up if you don't mind. Genesis verse 18, and this is twofold also. And the Lord our power said, it is not good that man should live alone. And the serpent, he will know what he was doing. All right? Because naturally a man is supposed to be with a woman. And he says, I will make him an helpmeet for him. See? So the woman was designed to stand, to be a helpmeet. Yeah? But you know, Esau, Edom, they turn it upside down. Yeah?
Someone get the definition of the word.
Yes.
Or the strong. Get the strong as well. And the etymology will tell you.
Yeah.
I get it. Etymology.
Yeah, you gotta understand what the definitions of those words mean. They have meaning.
Yeah.
You know, the Lord labeled things for a reason. Man.
Yeah. And there's a saying, like they say, two bulls can't live in one pen.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You can't have a man and a man. It has to be you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's going to have conflict. Yeah?
Yeah, especially with the alphabet people.
That's it.
When they have their marriages, one of them is like a butch man, you know, and the other one's actually like a woman. It's odd, man. It's a bugged out wicked spirit.
It's a wicked spirit. It's a wicked spirit.
I got the etymon for a woman.
Go.
It says adult female human, late old English, literally woman, man, alteration of wife, man, wife, men. Here's the one you want. Woman, female, servant.
Right.
Simple.
I will make him an helpmeet.
Servant, right?
That's it. For him.
Oh, female servants.
Yep.
Yeah, man. That's the accompaniment. Someone say it.
Accompany.
What?
Accompany.
Accompaniment, right? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Correctly.
I know what you mean.
Of the man.
Yeah.
Oh, a compliment, yeah.
She's to compliment the man. She's to be at his side and do the things that he needs to be doing,
Right.
Yeah.
or that he's not, that he can't do, or that he shouldn't be doing because he's got other things to do. You know,
Yes.
a woman's not there to be in petition with her man. You know, and that's not to say as well you can't discuss things with your woman, but ultimately the decision is yours, man.
Right.
I always remember that the decision is yours.
Yeah.
And the women that are gonna hate what we're saying, man, this is for you. There's women there are a few women out there that understand these things.
Right.
Very few, but there are some.
Precept?
Many of them our women, a lot of our women, you despise any of this. Therefore, you despise the Lord. Therefore, you're gonna be destroyed, man. Mark our words. It's a game that we're playing. This is a dead serious thing that we're doing. Alright? There's no sneaky ways out, man. Alright? Many things are gonna happen, man. Women are gonna get wrapped like that.
Yeah, I was gonna say they're gonna see soon, man. They're gonna see that they're not what they thought it was. They don't have as much power as they thought. Listen, all the power that they have is given to them by men anyway, man.
Exactly.
When they're in danger, it's men they're calling on to save them.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I got one more here, just one more. Ecclesiasticus 36 verse 24. He that getteth a wife beginneth a possession.
Yeah.
And what is it when you possess something?
You own it.
Right?
Yeah,
Right?
that's a stone cold
He
one.
that getteth a wife beginneth a possession, and a help like unto himself,
Oh, there you go now.
and a pillar of rest.
Yeah, so that means peace, man. It's supposed to be peace unto you,
To
man.
comfort your man.
And you're owned, man. You're supposed to be owned. We're supposed to own you.
Yes.
Don't get it twisted. It doesn't mean you see the women when they want to start thinking of the next level now. So we're gonna start doing this. No, we're not saying that because you're a possession to us that we're gonna start doing wicked. That be going off, man.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not the point. But if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, and we're doing what we're supposed to be doing, all through the truth, through the spirit, through the word, and all that, then everything should be rosy for everyone.
Right.
That's the way the Heavenly Father has set things up.
Yeah.
You know, whether you like it or not, man. You know, pussy, you nobby lobs over there, man. If you don't like Heavenly Father the way he's set up, the patriarchy, then tough, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Precept, this is 1 Peter 3 and verse 6. Even as Sarah obeyed Abraham, calling him Lord.
There you
That's
go.
it, man.
Lord, man. And Lord means what? Master.
Yeah.
How many women are gonna say that right now, man?
No way.
You know what I mean? And say, yeah, I want to call me master. They're gonna have a hissy fit, man. You know what I mean? They're gonna have some kind of amphibious stroke. That's not gonna happen, man. The average woman is not gonna. The average black woman is not gonna. She will do that for her master.
Let's say the average Israelite woman.
Esau.
Because they're all, and
Yeah.
even all these women now, man.
Facts.
Yeah, it's true.
All these women.
All that, man. All that.
You've been lied to, man.
Yeah, I was watching. I heard it when we were on the way to the car. The live stream with Elder Apostle Tahar, and he made a good point. He said that because you got the season coming up, the so-called high holidays, their high holidays coming up, Christmas. She be getting the money from her man to buy the presents, and then she be giving the credit to the Edomite. She wrap up the pet present, put it underneath the Christmas tree. And then she be telling her son that Santa came and gave him the gifts when she got the money from her man.
Her cheeks clap for them, man.
Right. So she's taking the money from her man and giving the credit to her children to the white man Esau. So that's typical of that's what it is.
Man.
Yeah, that's typical of what we're under right now. What we be doing catering for. If you do got a woman, you be catering for your woman. She be giving the credit to the Edomite man.
Yeah.
Because she worked for him, she get money from him, everything she wants, she get it from him.
Listen,
That's a
Well,
God.
priest-
That's
say-
wickedness,
That's, you
man.
can say that, and that's true. But remember again, that means that man's simping out, man.
Yeah. Oh.
He's gone to work
Yeah.
for a week or for a month and paid them bills and gave her the money for that, and then he's allowing her to tell them children that some Edomite crawled down the chimney, that some overweight Edomite came through the chimney and left presents for them. And that's that heroism
Yeah.
from these Edomites, man.
Yeah.
Right? Santa's going around the world, treating all over the world, the brown ones, the yellow ones, the white ones, the great white man with the big white beard,
Yeah.
And we, some of us fell for that shit. Listen, I'm not saying I did.
Yeah.
I will say this. When I say fell for it, I mean as if
Yeah.
the present.
Yeah.
Not
Of
as a
course,
grown.
not as a grown up, no.
That's
Yeah.
We are ignorant of certain devices.
Listen,
Yeah.
when I was dealing with that heathenistic
Yeah.
lifestyle, man, them presents I paid for that shit. You understand? I mean, I paid for that. There was none of that.
Yeah, overtime.
You see these scriptures, they're so powerful because it says, knowing the truth should set free, right? Before I used to go into that paganism, the Christmas thing, and what I learned in the truth is that when they put the presents around the tree, what you do, you bow down. You bow down to pick up the present.
Right.
So you're worshipping Nimrod.
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah.
So it's
Come on,
twofold.
come on.
You see?
That's why they put it under the tree.
Put it on the tree for you to bow down, to pick it up. So it's all twofold. This world is wicked, man. This has to go. It has to go.
A lot of that
Yeah.
stuff was instituted by
Yeah.
our forefathers who were Roman Catholics, man.
Mm.
Alright, that's why the Bible calls them what? The false prophet, man.
Yeah.
You know, that's a shameful chapter in our history, man. Something to be proud of. It's actually something to be actually ashamed of, man.
Go precept.
You know, go ahead.
This is Micah chapter 7 and 10. Then she that is mine enemy shall see it, and shall cover her, which said unto me, where is the Lord thy power? My eyes shall behold her,
Yep.
now shall she be trodden down as the mire of the streets.
And when that treading happens, believe the Lord's gonna put a spirit on us to be cold, man.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, the Lord's gonna, and people around you, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna look for help left, right. So no one's gonna help you, man. In Brickgate, the woman that got bricked in her face.
She lied about that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she did,
Yeah, she lied about it, but at first she was like, "Oh, I got bricked," and you lot went around and no one did anything. So what, man? Why should they help you? And it turned out that she was a liar anyway.
Right.
You see?
But if I remember correctly, Yakar, with that case, to show just how, many men have run out their wits for women and just this
Yeah.
world in general,
Yeah.
I believe he actually had a GoFundMe set up.
Yes,
because of
yes,
that.
it's true.
And
Yeah.
if I'm not mistaken,
Yeah, you're right,
I
you're
don't
right,
remember
you're
the
right.
exact figure,
You're right.
but I remember she raised something in the five figures.
And you know when she did it to cut here? She did it in the hospital when she was on in her gown, because she had her face was swollen.
Took a selfie.
A selfie. Continue, brother.
But
Yeah.
now we're in a time where, these seeing women getting ravished and all all kind of things happening. Hey, everyone's gonna be in that same spirit of working out their own salvation.
Thank
you.
The
Thank you.
only
Go,
people that
go.
are gonna receive the salvation are the elect.
Mm.
They ain't gonna be worrying about you dusty ass women, man.
You know, regarding that GoFundMe, I can guarantee you the majority of the funding from men.
Yeah.
Of course.
Women ain't dipping their hands in the markets, man.
Black
They ain't
queen.
doing that.
Yeah,
They're
man.
selfish, man. Women are like children. They're selfish.
Yes.
Exactly, man.
That's the case.
That's why we're not bothered about these women. Man. They're not worth your time. You know.
So what we're talking about really here, the weaker vessel. That's what we're talking about really.
Yeah.
Vessel.
The vessel.
We'll continue. Shall I continue
Genesis
13?
Oh, 13. Yeah.
13. And in Genesis 3 verse 13. And the Lord our power said unto the woman, what is this thou hast done? And the woman said, the serpent beguiled me, and I did eat.
You see, so she's trying, now she's basically she's admitting that, listen, I was beguiled, Now look up that word beguiled now, right? In the blue letter.
Yeah, it says here, beguiled, espatao, in the Strong's G 1818. It means to deceive.
To what?
To deceive.
To deceive, you
Yeah.
see? So he used his all of the Heavenly Father gave him, alright, to more or less live out the Lord's will. So sin can be brought in the world and perfection cannot be made. Again, alright, that's how he would have got perfection.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, we have got perfection by, implementing the law, statute, commandments, right, and living off them, etc. Once you do that, you're fine. But once you enter into sin now, sin come creeping at your door.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a preacher.
There's a consequence for those actions. Alright,
Yeah.
15.
Yeah, on your point to back you 5 and 12 says, wherefore, as by one man sin entered unto the world, and death by sin, and so death passed upon all men, for that all have sinned.
All of us have sinned. It's like all of us have fallen short. 100%.
Oh, all right, one more, if I may, one more. In 14, nevertheless, death reigned from Adam to Moses, even over them that had not sinned, after the multitude of Adam's transgression, who is the figure of him that to come. Yeah, so he was really. We mentioned the word simping. I mean,
Simping.
if we want to call that would be the first sin, Adam. As sad as it is to say, that was the first sin, Adam. So that he sinned because he didn't stand his ground with his wife. She took the fruit, not Adam apple that got stuck in your throat. Therefore, we call it the Adam's apple. But the fruit, you understand, which was the philosophies of the other nations. He took it. He could have said. All other scenarios could have played out, but he decided to simp. Therefore, sin entered onto the world.
Exactly. He did simp. At the end of the day, he's trying to say, well, the woman that you gave me, no. At the end of the day, it's down to you because you're the man, man. The man has agency over a woman. All right. 2 Corinthians 11.
We're going to
verse 3.
The precept.
I think you brought it up, didn't
Yeah,
you?
the
Well,
guy.
It's a lot. I made the
Yes,
because that's the root.
So I look at the Begal, isn't it?
Yeah, because
That's
Begal, it has the same root word, same meaning, but
Right.
the different Strong's G concordance.
Look at the word Begal again.
In Genesis 3:13,
Yeah.
it says Nasar, and it says here to beguile, to deceive, to be beguiled. It says deceive and utterly.
To be deceived, right?
Yeah.
And then look up through his subtlety.
God.
Look up subtlety.
Should I get the one from 2 Corinthians 11?
No, this one here, it says 2 Corinthians 11:3, where it says he through his subtlety. Look at that word subtlety.
I wrote it down before. Strong's G 30 and 34. Panogia, which means craftiness, cunning, a good sense of false affairs, wisdom.
False wisdom, see? False wisdom. So that's what he was feeding her.
Yeah.
Feeding her with all his false wisdom of these bugged out philosophies of the other nations.
Yeah.
And she submitted. She more or less what's it called? Pushed this to Adam. And he, actually partook of this wickedness. At the end of the day, it's down to him, because he's the man. Alright? He's one that is supposed to have her, in straightly and, give her strength unto woman. All of that went down the window, man. Can't follow that. Okay?
Yeah.
Get to Rock 9 verse 9 as well, please. This is another thing that went down that was off about all of it. Remember, this serpent is a man, right? So now he's talking to, another man's wife. That's off as well.
Adultery.
Got the precept.
Alright?
This is Sirach chapter 9 verse 9. Sit not at all with another's wife, nor sit down with her in thine arms, and spend not thy money with her at the wine, lest thine heart incline unto her, and so through thy desire thou fall into destruction.
Destruction. What is that? Commit adultery. And that's what that does. Because a man that commits adultery, like what? Understand it, man. Because that's another. That's someone else's property. You're not supposed to be doing that.
Precept?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because this is Surah 19 and 22. The knowledge of wickedness is not wisdom, neither at any time the counsel of sinners prudence. And you just back that up by reading Job 39 and 17 says, because the Most High have deprived her of wisdom, neither have he imparted to her understanding. So the woman had no understanding, and she sought to the Edomite thinking that she'd get understanding, but the counsel of sinners is not prudence, and knowledge of wickedness is not wisdom. So Eve was fully deceived by trying to go to the Edomite for some kind of wisdom.
He's not Edomite.
Oh, he's not an Edomite yet. Good correction, Dwayne. Going over to the wicked, thinking that she'd get some kind of enlightenment or something, just deceived.
Yeah. I mean, imagine all these stupid rappers, man, and entertainers that sign a record deal. They're completely deceived. First they come in, they think that, yeah, this is good and that. Then they realize that everything they're doing, they're getting paid, they're getting billed. Hotel, everything.
And it's all in
It's,
Yeah.
yeah, it's an advantage.
Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah, yeah,
Well,
yeah.
So then they have to, they're forced to make the returns, man. They're forced to make the money. And even when they start selling records, man, these record companies are fleecing them. They're getting a percentage of each record
Boy.
that is sold, a very
yeah.
tiny
Yeah.
percentage, man. So even, you know, the amount of money that they're generating for these record companies, they're not seeing really much of that at all. So it takes a lot for them to even make money. That's why they end up doing shows, man. That show make really all of that money.
Yeah.
They're just performing. They're not, you know, selling through the record player, using the record company's resources. They have to, you know, they set up their own shows, man. But, you know, going back to what I was saying, you do all that stuff, you sell your, and you're still not even really making as much money as you thought you was gonna make.
Yeah.
Because them devils that are in charge
Yeah.
are wicked, man.
They're wiser than Daniel, man. Yeah, they're wiser in what? In wickedness. So they fleece you Jakes. And Michael Jackson said that. He said Sammy Davis Jr. He said, is it what? Cook, whatever.
Sam Cooke.
Sam, he goes, all these great artists, he goes, they work their craft, but in the end, they end up dying broke and unhappy. And he said the record labels,
They don't even own their own art. They don't own, they create their own music, but they don't own it, man.
yeah,
These companies own it.
there you go. So,
You know, sometimes they tell them they can't go and do something else with somebody else. Money.
yeah,
And they might have you sitting there and you want to, let's say you want to make another album, and they might be like dithering around and doing something with someone else and like, yeah, you know, we'll do something soon, we'll talk soon. And all this time they're telling you that you can't go and do what you can do to make some money with somebody else. Right? So you're basically a slave. That's why, Prince write that on his face one time?
Yes.
Oh
when he performs, isn't it? Yeah.
Because they are slaves, man.
Yeah, you see?
Because what Jake today don't understand is that he has a strategy, a philosophy that he lives by, which I've heard this years ago, but I still remember it. It's they don't, if a ninja would betray his own people, then he will betray us too. That's when they're actually buying you and you're saying you're selling your soul to them. They're aware of you. They don't see you as you're still worse enemy than those that for those that won't betray their own people. Because if you could betray your own people, then you betray me too. And that's right, and that's true too. So they don't respect you, man. You sell your soul to the devil, and you're gaining his favor. He puts you on even a lower level than those that keep a lot or so-called racists that are racist for their own people. You on a lower level than them.
Yeah. That's true.
It's just, as you say, they're gonna. It's a lose-lose situation for them.
Yeah, man.
But that goes back to again, never trusting our enemy, and we are not ignorant of Satan. You read that earlier. We never trust that enemy, or we are not ignorant of Satan's devices, man.
Yeah.
Just before we get back into this, right? I was watching something recently, and it was talking about particular artists and how much net worth they have now. And like you're talking about 2 or 3 million, and these are people that have been doing music for decades, yet they only have 2 or 3 million in their accounts, man. After all the records that they've sold, been everywhere, you know. So imagine how much money the companies have made off of that.
Yeah.
It's devilish, man.
Yeah, it's a wicked.
Anyway,
that's the reason why you're not supposed to have any dealings with this devil, man. Yeah.
Let's go to 14 now.
Yeah, it's verse 14.
Genesis 3 verse 4. And the Lord our power said unto the serpent, because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all cattle, and above every beast of the field. Upon thy belly shalt thou go, shalt thou eat all the days of thy life.
That represents what?
Confusion.
Exactly, it represents confusion, man. Alright? That represents confusion. So, the Lord is cursing now the spirit of the serpent. So, the spirit of the serpent is the Lord saying, look, you're going to be in confusion. Because the opposite of knowing the truth, confusion.
Yeah.
And that's what wickedness is, man. You know what? One wicked act, you know what it does? It leads to another wicked act. Well, when you lie, right? Alright, then it leads to another lie. And then you've done 2 other lies to 2 other people, and then you gotta cover your tracks. It leads to more lying, man. That's what it does. And that's what sin does, man. Once you allow it to flourish, it's like cancer. It spreads everywhere. Alright? So, let's read that again, please.
Genesis 3 verse 14.
Yeah.
And the Lord our power said unto the serpent, because thou hast done this,
Yeah.
thou art cursed above all cattle,
Yeah.
and above every beast of the field. Upon thy shalt thou go, and dust shalt thou eat all the days of thy life.
That's right. So that the spirit and the Lord is cursing the spirit that's in that serpent. And that serpent came back, as we know, as who?
Okay.
Cain. And then it came back as Esau.
So,
And Esau had what was it called? Descendants, which are who? The Edomites. Alright, so that same spirit is in them. Alright? And there's a precept, this is Isaiah 34.
Yeah, I
verse
got
4.
that. I got it.
Yeah, it shows you that they're the Lord's nation first. That shows you that the serpent is linked to Esau, because that's the serpent. That's why the Lord is Job 9:24. The earth is given to the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? The Lord's being sarcastic, saying that if they are not the devil, then
Who is it then?
Yeah, who else is it? Who's the one that does deceive? You know. Alright.
Yeah, I got the precept.
Alright, go.
So Isaiah 34 verse 4.
Yep.
And all the host of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll.
About what? It's what?
The mushroom cloud.
The Third World War, man. Alright? It's like the Third World War. And it's talking about nuclear missiles.
Yeah.
Alright? This is how the prophet described it.
Yeah. So, and all their hosts shall fall down as the leaf falleth off from the vine, and as a falling fig from the fig tree. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, come down upon Idumea, and upon the people of my curse to judgment.
See it? When my curse to judgment. See? The Idumea. Now, who's Idumea?
Edomites.
Greek.
Edomites.
Greek.
Yes. So that's Greek way.
It just shows you, man, the Lord is not with you either one bit.
Exactly. And you know what I get? I get the reason why some Edomites go up to Israel and videotape it, because it's like a rejection, isn't it? Because the whole world is theirs, really, isn't it? You know what I mean? But in this one thing, this is the only thing that rejects you. And you know why it is? It rejects you because it's the truth.
And condemns you.
And it condemns you, you know? Because this word is about truth, man.
Imagine knowing that the Most High Yahweh is real, yeah, and He hates you. Like the most powerful being that is eternal, the creator of everything and all the spirits. He hates you, man. He made you as well, and He hates you. Imagine that. So, and that is why it's surreal when you come to this truth to realize you're Israel, man.
Yeah.
Right, and the Lord loves you, right?
Wow.
That's deep, man. Like
Reset.
He's chosen one nation,
Yeah.
and we happen to be them people.
Yeah.
After all this time, yeah, of being at the bottom, and I find that we're not really at the bottom. We're not really supposed to be there.
Right.
That's amazing, man.
Calm.
Yeah.
I've got a quick precept. And the scriptures say also that what I have seen servants upon horses, princes walking as servants. So this is Romans 9:13. It says, as it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's right, man.
How do Christians get on that? Simple verse like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if I can add, bring out this quick one as well to back up that one.
Yeah, but they always look at it. They've been taught that Jacob is the evil one. He's a supplanter and he's evil and wicked. And then you realize, hang on, who's behind the black church? Esau, isn't it? Really behind the black churches, they've got a network of niggas, but I guarantee you, it goes back to Esau, man.
Yeah.
He's the one that helps produce
Yeah.
your T.D. Jakes and all that. He's involved in a lot of wickedness, man. Alright. See?
Yeah. Second, this is 2 verses. Second Ezra 5. I'll just bring out 2 of them, just to make the point. It says, and of all. Second 5 and verse 28. Just 2 of them, yeah. And of all the fowls that are created, thou hast named thee one dove, and of all the cattle thou art made thee hast provided thee one sheep, and among all the multitudes of people thou hast gotten thee one people, and unto this people whom thou lovest thou givest a law that is approved of all. Yeah, you said it, you know. You said it in a nutshell. You know?
Yeah, that nation is the nation of Israel, man. You know, so we've got a lot of things to look forward to. You know,
Cool.
If you look at this world, they're not going to teach you anything like that. They're just going to teach you about you've just been slaves and that's it.
Yeah.
You know, they're not going to teach you anything, man. It's all been done by purpose. It's been done by what? Crafty counsel.
Yeah.
All right, they've done that. Okay. So that's so now the serpent is being cursed. The Lord is like, no. All right, a consequence for your action of what you've done. All right. Get Job 30 verse 1 as well. All right.
Yeah, I got that. This is
Got
Job.
that, yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Because that's a part of the curse as well. Because there was a period of time where, when they had the Roman Empire, all right, and Jake took over, there was a time period there when Jake and the other dark nations drew them away to the Caucasus Mountains, man. All right, and they don't like to talk about that, but there's a good book called "Who Is Esau Edom?" That book goes into it, man. And we were talking earlier on. That book was what, £100 at one point, but then the Lord got us to get £60. You know, so hey, the Lord always provides what we need, man. Alright, but that book, it's a period of time of the darker nations, including us, drawing these Edomites to the Caucasus Mountains, man, and how they were living back then, and they were out, man. Alright, Job 30 verse 1.
God, this is Job 30 and verse 1.
Yep.
Says it, but now they that are younger than I have me in derision, whose fathers I would have disdained to have set with the dogs of my flock. Yea, whereto might the strength of their hands profit me, in whom old age was perished. For want and famine they were solitary, flying into the wilderness, in former time desolate and waste, who cut up the mallows by the bushes and the juniper roots for their meat. They were driven forth from among men. They cried after them as after a thief.
Yeah, because they were thieves, man. When they had the Roman Empire, how did that empire expand? Through plundering, man. You know what I mean? Through taking down these other nations, man, with violence, man. Go and watch Gladiator, the opening scene. I claim this in the name of Rome and the city. And they just killed, literally in half an hour, like 5 people to do it, man. Yeah. So that's how they were. They were thieves. Okay, continue.
Because they cried after them, after a thief, to dwell in the cliffs of the rock of the valleys, in houses, in caves of the earth, and in the rocks.
In caves, in the rocks. What's that talking about? That's talking about like mountains, man. And that area is where Russia is, but there's the southern part, and the southern part of Russia has a border with a country called Georgia.
Yeah, there you go.
That's where
Russia, Georgia.
That's where the Caucasus Mountains are, right at that time. Around that area there. Alright, and it wasn't just Jakes that did it as well, it was all the other nations, because when you look at the Roman Empire, it's actually very multicultural. Alright? Esau don't want to show you that. He shows you a little bit of Gladiator too, but he just puts it in there. But when you do actual research, the Roman the provinces were very multicultural. So when they were falling, and Jake was going to power, there was a time where the Dark Nations got together and fled and kind of a lot of these Edomites to this area called the Caucasus Mountains. Alright, and that's what this is going into. Continue. What verse do you have?
Verse 7 now.
Alright, go on.
So Job 30 and 7. Among them they brayed under the nettles.
Yep.
They were gathered together. They were children of fools.
Yep.
Yea, children of base men.
Base man is a low man, man. Base man, alright? A base model, alright?
Base spec.
Yeah, but yeah, imagine going to a car dealership. You want that car, the base model is the lowest one. Alright, continue.
And it said among the bushes he brayed, man. So that further shows the lowest state he's in, because what does it mean to braid? So he isn't that big.
That's why he's always so that makes it but I need to say that's why when he shows his documentaries and he shows the cavemen, it's always them he's showing. He doesn't show cavemen looking like Jakes, man. There's no brown cavemen according to him. And when I was young in my youth, I used to always wonder, well, how comes they're you said that they were the first. How comes they're the first? It's all these white people that are in the cave. Where's the brown people? But no, that's right. Now I see, to see the truth. Now we know that why that is because that's not even going back then.
Yeah.
While they were doing that, other people were walking around civilized.
Right.
Using their words, man.
Yeah, they're just they've turned everything upside down to make out like they're the great people, but then they're
pioneers, man.
Yeah, they're the pioneers of wickedness. That's the only thing that they're good pioneering at, man. That's all they've been good at is pioneering wickedness.
And I want to read this as well because we get a lot of people when we bring out the scriptures about the demise of Esau, right, and the wickedness of them. People, certain people that want to say that Edomites have done away with, right?
Yeah.
But it tells you in Sirach 4 and what was it? 4 and 16, it says there of all the people, right? Even of all that have been before. So there is no end to the people, man. There's no end to the nations, right? All the nations will exist, man.
Yeah.
The Lord hasn't done away with a particular nation, and why would he? Why would he have that already? Even if let's just say, which he hasn't obviously. If you're saying the Lord has done already, it just goes to show you that the Lord can do away with the Edomites, man. And they will be Obadiah 1 and 18, man. Right?
Yeah.
You're right.
Obadiah 18, I should say. They will be destroyed, man. But they're not today, man.
Edomites are still here. Look on the kingdom. What's going to happen? Who's going to go into slavery?
Exactly. And regardless, we read it, Job 9 and 24, man. The wicked are alive and well today.
That's it.
And they are the wicked. The Edomites are the wicked, man.
Exactly. So the same spirit that was the first in the serpent, they hold that curse today, man.
Yeah.
That's why it said it will sword in heaven, it will fall down upon who? I do
me up, yeah.
Oh, the people of my curse.
Yeah.
So all you coconuts that love them, and you're thinking about now.
We coons and Sambos.
Sambos and your Aunt Jemimas and Jimmys and Mimmies that have sold out to them because you didn't want to suffer with your own people. All right. Right now is a time to reflect on this cooling, man. Because believe me, time is running, man. If the righteous scarcely make it, So righteous scarcely make it. So the righteous is going to scarcely make it. Well,
Where shall the sinner and ungodly appear?
yeah, so what's going to happen to you coons, man?
And they'll hand joining hand.
Yeah, exactly.
Shall not go unpunished.
So like your officer, he brought out that scripture. It was in Job about there was braiding and there was eating juniper roots. Right?
Yeah.
I used to go to this shop where I used to buy my herbs, but there would be ease in there and they'd be asking for juniper roots. So the spirit of the Lord had them in them, had it in their mind for them. And I just, out of curiosity, I just looked it up because it says the benefit, juniper berries, the benefit, it says contain vitamin C and antioxidants that may help protect cells from damage, contain plant compounds that may help reduce swelling, contain vocal oils that may help have antibacterial properties, right? So because they have worms, parasites, and it was unclean.
They're eating up the raw meat.
So the Most High put the spirit on them to take those berries,
Just sustain
sustain them,
Go,
keep
go,
them
go,
alive,
go.
and kill all the bacteria to keep them alive.
Yeah.
It's all spiritual, man. It's all spiritual.
That's great.
The Lord, and listen, the Lord knows what he's doing, man.
But apparently he has no mercy, yeah?
Yeah, exactly. You know? Let's go to verse 15.
Verse 15, Genesis 3, verse 15.
Yeah.
Will put enmity, which means hatred, between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed. It shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel.
Yeah, so that word enmity, what does it mean? It means hostility,
Yeah.
hatred. Alright? So is that seed is between whose seed? Whose seed? The woman? Who's the woman?
And I will put enmity between thee and the woman.
Yeshua Allah.
I know.
Yeah.
Who's the woman?
Yeshua, Israel.
Exactly.
His potential wife to be.
Because Israel is what?
Most High's woman.
Yeah.
The Most High's woman. Let's get that one. Jeremiah 6:2.
Yeah.
You know?
Precept as well.
Yeah, you bring out a precept before.
Okay, this is Genesis 25, starting at 20. And Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekah to wife, the daughter of Bethuel of Padanaram, the sister to Laban the Syrian. And Isaac entreated Yahweh for his wife because she was barren, and Yahweh was entreated of him, and Rebekah his wife conceived. And the children struggled together within her, and she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of Yahweh. And Yahweh said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels, and the one people shall live than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. So that enmity between her seed and the serpent seed carried right through up until this point, and was manifested later on as the twins Jacob and Esau.
Which is a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Because, as I said, the Lord's woman, man. Alright? Who's got that one?
And when you
Yeah,
think
I've got
about it as well, like there ain't no obviously Edomite man.
Because he got
Yeah, she's like his little sidekick, man.
Yeah, man.
Against us,
Yeah.
you know.
Partly.
So it can't be.
Satan's
It
cooking.
can't be.
Can't be her. Yeah, that's it.
I heard
She's a partner in crime to her master, man.
God.
You know, out of all the things that you could do to fight back, okay, you decide to open your legs to your master. How's that help the cause of your people?
Just creating more Edomites.
You know? Yeah, bringing forth more tears, man. Alright? Add that in the lesson. You know? That's doing, man. But you know what that is? That shows you that our people what? Are destroyed for lack of knowledge.
Yeah.
Lack of knowledge of self. You know?
Got a precept? This is Revelation 12 and 17. And the dragon was wroth with the woman and went to make war with the remnants of her seed, which keep the commandments of the Most High and have the testimony of Yahweh Shai HaMashiach.
See, a remnant, man. See, so it's not about big. It's a small sanctuary, right? A remnant. Small sanctuary. the elect. We always go on about it because it's the truth. This is not a big thing. It's not like it's like a, like X Factor, all them kind of big, massive programs and
Podcasts.
Big podcasts, all that kind of stuff. No, the Lord is quietly putting out by His men, rightfully dividing the word of truth.
Yep.
He's bringing His own true doctrine, man, whether you believe it or not. And if you don't believe it, you don't have to listen to us. Change the channel if you want. We're not bothered, man. We don't care. All we care about is the truth. Whether you accept it or not, that's not it's not up to us. Okay? So I've got a piece of
Yeah, I've got a piece of Revelation 21, straight to the point, and verse 2 says, And I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from Yahweh out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. We're talking about if we are, which hopefully are his to-be wife or bride, then we're the woman. Then that stands to reason that we're the woman that we're being prepared right now to be his bride, and that's Israel, Yahshua Allah. Yeah, and we're rising now. So that backs up the point as well. It backs up the point that we're the woman being prepared to be wife.
there you go.
It's Yehoshua, just to clear that up. If we said we say it's Yehoshua, which is you Christians calling Jesus. That's who we're going to be married to. Who we're going to be married to, Yehoshua.
Yeah, we don't partake of that heathen name, man. Jesus, man. We don't partake in that at all, man. That's a no here. Okay, it's a beautiful thing.
Jeremiah 6:2 for someone.
Oh yeah, you got that one. Yeah, bring out that piece up because it says put enmity between thy seed. All right, right. Pull that. Read that one.
This is Jeremiah 6:2. I have likened daughter of Zion to a comely and delicate woman.
See, daughter of Zion is what? A comely and delicate woman.
Yeah.
All right, so that's the woman that he's talking about in this verse. All right, so let's Genesis 3 and 15 again.
And I would put enmity between thee.
Pull it and read it.
Oh, so like here. Genesis 3 and 15. And I would put enmity between thee and the woman.
So between between the serpent's seed and the woman's seed.
Yeah.
All right, continue.
And between thy seed and her seed.
So their seed and your seed. So that's what seed is. That seed is what? The nation of Israel, man.
Yep, yep.
And the other seed is
Nation of Edom.
Yeah.
the nation of Edom. Alright? Because obviously everything is reincarnated. Okay? Alright?
And it's rich because you mustn't mix seeds. Mix different seeds. Again. Yeah, because
Yeah,
two
cross
different
seeds, cross
yeah,
seeds.
cross seeds. Must
Yeah, yeah.
cross seeds.
Yeah.
So that's
You
still,
should be doing all of that with animals, and hybridizing the fruit. He's been doing that too.
Yeah.
Showing the fruit.
Yeah.
You know, if you go into it, it's a whole nother level
yeah.
of what they're doing. But they've been doing that with plants, animals.
Yeah.
materials.
Yeah.
Everything.
He's doing what he's meant to be doing, man. Playing his God. He's trying to be like a God complex.
Yeah, right.
And that's basically what he's got, man.
And also, when you read 15, it says, right, and I will put enmity between thee and the woman, thy seed and her seed. The women don't carry no seeds, man.
Yeah.
That's an indication in itself of all that it's talking about.
Yeah.
The men of Israel, man.
Exactly. It's
Or
a
the
beautiful
or even the elect, man. You have to
exactly the elect, man. So I'll put enmity between what? Alright, thy seed, alright, and their seed.
Yeah.
Alright, so that's gonna be hostility between us and them. Alright? And so that's there already. And you can't it doesn't matter how many coon brigades you wanna go on. Alright, that it's not gonna change anything. That's why they have that hatred towards you. Alright? They have that. Alright, continue.
It shall bruise thy head,
Alright.
and thou shalt bruise his heel.
Shall bruise thy head.
Got a precept?
Alright? What did it say? He shall bruise thy head. Right? I mean, the seed of the woman, alright, which is who? Us, will bruise their head. And the head of who? The Edomites.
Yep.
Alright, so how's that gonna happen?
The nuclear missile destruction.
That's when the house shall come back.
Mm.
One of the things that the elect is gonna do is do what? They're gonna round up
Esau.
the nobles of Esau, man.
Psalms 149.
Alright? Yeah, they're gonna round up the nobles of Esau, man.
To bind their king with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron.
Yeah, so when it talks about the heads of the nations, it's about the top people
Wow.
who are of those nations, alright?
Yeah.
So
Got a precept on that.
the seed of the woman, which is Israel, is gonna bruise the head of the serpent, man. Alright? Alright, it says, thou shalt bruise his heel. Alright, the serpent is gonna bruise our heel.
Yeah.
How is the serpent that happened?
Slavery.
Exactly, slavery. Get that?
Yeah.
Deuteronomy 28 and 68.
God.
Because remember, when what's it called? Esau and Jacob came out. Esau came out first, and Jacob did what?
The
Held
heel.
the heel of Esau.
He held the heel of Esau, you know. But he bruised our heel. How did he do that? By taking us away, man. He bruised our heel. He took us down. Alright? But that was a temporary takedown.
Ooh, I was just thinking that.
That's the main thing.
Yeah.
Alright?
Yeah.
We're gonna have the permanent takedown. You know?
Yeah.
That's gonna be one of the great rewards that the Lord's gonna give his elect, man.
Yeah, so like, on that point as well, you know when you go kill a serpent, you gotta chop off the head.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's no a head kill or a head lick.
Yeah.
But with as you know, from carnal perspective, when you get a bruise in the heel, you can recover from that.
That's right.
Yeah,
But not from a head blow.
God.
yeah. You gotta chop if it was a snake right here and you want to kill it, the main thing you do is chop the head.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, you know, that's what the Lord is gonna do. But they bruised our heel. Alright? Who's got that? Deuteronomy
I've got that.
28. Deuteronomy 28 and 68.
Deuteronomy 28:68 says, And Yahweh shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee.
And the word Egypt is what? A Greek word means what? Bondage.
Yeah.
So the Lord is gonna send you to again in ships. See?
By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again,
Yeah.
and there ye shall be sold unto your enemies, for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall.
No man should buy you what? Redeem you. There you go. No one's gonna save you, man. Alright? So they're the ones, the Lord put the Spirit on them to doing that bruised our heel. But at the end of the day, the head is gonna be cut off. Alright? And once you get the head off of anything, the rest of the body will does what? Dies, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. So that privilege is gonna be the elect and Yahweh Shai. Okay? Let's get Psalms 68, verse 21. Right?
This is Psalm 68 and 21.
Yep.
Most High shall wound the head of his enemies, and the hairy scalp of such an one as goeth on still in his trespasses.
See, and notice he said a hairy one. And who's hairy? Esau's hairy. You see, Esau's hairy, man. Alright? So the Lord is going to go for, you know, the head of any nation. You take the head out. Like, they've just done that just now with this Bashar al-Assad. He went, right? They invaded Syria. He fled. And now they've got some new jihadi guys in charge. Alright? That's what happens. Swings and roundabouts, man. Someone's in power, and then the Lord takes him out and brings someone else in. Okay? So, this back and forth between us and them is at a permanent end. Alright? The great thing about what we're going to get is there's going to be no comebacks. There's not going to be no coming out of the caves and, you know, coming back in a renaissance. That's not gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
No more comebacks.
I got a precept for that.
Nothing. Hang on.
Deuteronomy 28, verse 13. And the Lord our power shall make thee the head, and not the tail. And thou shalt be above only, and thou shalt not be beneath. If that thou hearken unto the commandments of the Lord thy power, which I commanded thee this day, to observe and to them.
There you go. See, that's what I'm in our kryptonite. Is always this disobedience, you see. And that's what's that's what's going on in this scenario here, in the garden. Okay? Alright, read verse 15 and then go to 16 as well.
Verse again?
Yeah, verse 15.
Genesis 3, verse 15. And I will put enmity between thee and the woman,
Yep.
and between thy seed and her seed.
Okay.
It shall bruise thy head, bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel.
Okay, so there's going to be hatred between us and them. Alright? Because that woman is the nation of Israel. Alright? Oh, there's another scripture that says that. Get Revelation 12 and 1.
Revelation 12 and verse 1. And there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun, and the moon under her feet, and on her head a crown of 12 stars.
See, a crown of 12 stars, you see? And that sun represents wisdom. Alright? So the woman is the nation of Israel.
And the stars represent the tribes, right?
Yeah.
12 stars.
12 stars, 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. You see? So there's going to be hostility between us and them. Yeah. And that's what it's been like. So this is like the Lord's movie is playing out as we speak. That's why I'm playing what?
Prophecy.
The spirit of prophecy, man. Alright? Someone get that scripture. That's some all, you know, when we do lessons and stuff like that, sometimes it's always good to make sure you don't go off track.
Yeah.
Got it here.
And always think about prophecy.
Sirach 39 and 1. He that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High, and is occupied in the meditation thereof, will seek out the wisdom of all the ancient, and be occupied in prophecies.
Be occupied prophecy. That's what you have to do, man. Alright, this is 110% all the time. And that's what we're locked onto, man. Alright? Now, that Genesis 15.
Yeah, he said
Alright.
16.
Alright, go to verse 16 now.
Genesis 3 and 16 now. Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. Thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be thy husband, and he shall rule over thee.
Can I just say something as well on that? See, and that's why these women, man, you know, giving birth is like one of the most traumatic cases that they have, man.
Yeah.
Even in the animal kingdom, that, you know, their young ones just pop out, man.
Yeah.
But these women fail to understand that the reason why you have such a painful experience goes right back to Eve, man. All the way back then, and you know, you still want us to follow after you. I mean, can't you see the consequence that's come from us following after you in the first place, man?
Because as he said, giving birth trouble.
Right.
You know, but not pain.
That's even with all the epidural stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, but that goes back to them again, trusting in the serpent.
Yeah.
See, there's no new thing under the sun. The serpent comes, take you can have the epidural.
Yeah.
Then they got permanent back pain for the rest of their lives, man.
Yeah.
All because they're trying to escape the curse.
Yeah,
That's true, because it says,
Yeah.
what is it? Multiply that with thy conception, and so that means they're supposed to go through that. They're supposed to be alleviated. You make a good point.
Yeah. Actually, if you read, if you read Genesis 3 and 16, in the Blue Letter, in the NLT,
Oh, boy.
Okay.
yeah, it will explain a lot better.
Got it.
Yeah.
Genesis 3 and 16 in the NLT says, and then he said to the woman, I'll soften the pain of your pregnancy, and in pain will you give birth, and your desire to control your, and you will desire to control your husband,
Yeah.
but he will rule over you.
See? So you know, it said your desire
Mm.
will to control your husband, but he will rule over you. So that's why when you get into a relationship with women, that's the reason why. After a while, it's just kind of like this tug of war.
Yeah,
She's trying to change you.
Yeah.
You know, you're thinking, why are you trying to change you? Why? Because it's an aspect to do that. Right? Because the Lord, because of their sin, the Lord put curses on them. Alright? And that's it. One of them is, yes, you're going to have your husband, you're going to have a desire to be with him, but at the end of the day, you're going to try and control him, but he's going to rule over you.
Which was meant to be.
Which, that's how it's supposed to be. You see? So that's why I read it. Read it again.
Genesis 3:16 in the NLT again
Yep.
says, "Then he said to the woman, I will sharpen the pain of your pregnancy,
That's okay.
and in pain you will give birth, and you will desire to control your husband, but he will rule over you."
See, desire to control your husband, you will rule over you. But before that, there was no pain with labor pain or anything like that. Because of that, because of their trespasses, the Lord has said, look, this is part of punishment. So that's why now, every time they're in labor, they're screaming, man.
Yep.
You know, but it was okay. It was easy to give birth. See, consequences for actions. Alright, continue. Genesis 3:17.
17. Genesis 3:17.
Hang on. And look up the word rule. You know that this one is
The root word. Yeah, I'll go.
Rule, yeah?
Yeah, I'll go in the blue letter. It's the Strong's H4910, marshal, which means to rule, have dominion, reign, to cause to rule, to exercise dominion.
See, dominion.
Nice, bro.
He will rule over you. So that's what established things. But clearly, in this Western society, they do the opposite. So they're coming into the crosshairs of the Heavenly Father. Because they're actually going out to promote everything that is against His word. We take that highly personal, man. And every brother in this room should take that personal. And be angry at that. Okay?
Add something you can't focus on.
Yeah, no.
And that's why, the people, they wonder why society is so dysfunctional, man. It's because you're not following the law, statutes, and commandments that's been given unto us, man.
Yeah.
Which is, with precept here, Sirach 25 and 22, it says, a woman, if you maintain her husband, going back to what you said in the NLT, and your desire, you will desire to control your husband, but he will rule over you. And that's what you women do. You get into a relationship with a woman, she's trying to mold you. You know, like you go to them places with your children, build a bear.
Yeah.
You put the pieces together and you make the bear how you want it.
Custom
Right?
made.
So it says a woman, if she maintain her husband, is full of anger, impudence, and much reproach. And then you wonder why you got the majority of single parent household, man, because it said two bulls can't
Being one pair.
being one. Well, that's what you have happening in most Israelite homes, man. That's why daddy ain't there.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
God.
Okay, there's a clash. There's a clash for who's the head.
Power struggle.
The power struggle, and that's a normal average thing in our community now. That's how sad it is, man. All right. Yeah. So you look at the word rule.
God, marshal, which means dominion, to reign over.
See, dominion to reign over. So that's what the Heavenly Father.
Okay.
What
Precept here?
Alright, go on. Precept first.
That's what he said, going back again, that the Lord is not the author of confusion. In 2 Ezra 5, verse 8, there shall be a confusion also in many places, and the fire shall be sent out again, and the wild beasts shall change their places, and the menstruous woman shall bring forth monsters. So it's like a continuous because of the wickedness of a woman. See the confusion. You see.
Yeah. When it says bring forth monsters, so much kids with deformities, man.
Yeah.
Which does happen in our nation. Which is also through reincarnation as well.
Cool.
You know. All right. So verse 17.
Verse 17.
Yeah.
And unto Adam, Genesis 3, verse 17. And unto Adam, said, because thou hast hearkened unto the voice of thy wife, and hast eaten of the tree of which I command thee, saying, thou shalt not eat of it. Cursed is the ground for thy sake. In sorrow shalt thou eat of it all the days of thy life.
All right. So now the Lord is cursing the ground now. So instead of,
Oh yeah.
you know, before all the fruit trees would yield,
Yeah.
you know,
Potency,
Yeah.
strength, more strength.
it would just be like,
Mm.
you know, oh, you want fruit,
touch.
it will just touch it and it will be like there.
Oh.
But now, okay, I'm gonna curse the ground now. So now you've got to till the earth. Now you've got to have
Work for it.
Work for
yeah,
it.
now you got to work for it
That's the
basically.
sweat of your brow.
Yeah. So now all those trees, those fruits, now they come in season now. Now you have to pray that the Lord gives you a good harvest. You have to water it. You have to. But before all of that, all of that was it.
Yeah.
So now the Lord is cursing the ground.
Yeah.
Got precept.
All right.
This is Matthew 21 and 19. And when he saw a fig tree in the way, he came to it and found nothing thereon, but leaves only, and said unto it, let no fruit grow on thee henceforward forever. And presently the fig tree withered away.
That's how it's shining.
Yeah. Who was that?
Yeah, how sure.
Yeah, that's good. And we always know that story. You see. So now because of that, that's the consequence of one of sins. Is now the things are not yielding as they were before.
Wow.
You know, the plants are not growing as they were before. Now you've got to worry about droughts, all these manner of things. So that's another part of the curse. Verse 17. You read 17, verse 18.
Go on.
Thorns also and thistles
Yep.
shall it bring forth to thee, and thou shalt eat the herb of the field.
So instead of instead of what it usually should produce, now you're getting what thorns, thistles, all the things that if you're a tree surgeon, you have to chop through this, to get to this. But before, everything was fine. So now the Lord has cursed the actual ground, so the ground doesn't yield
Yep.
as it used to. All right, all because of this sin. Okay, continue. Verse
20.
19.
Oh,
In the sweat of thy face shalt thou eat bread till thou return unto the ground. For out
Wait. And it says what? In the sweat of
in the sweat of thy face
yeah.
shalt thou eat bread till thou return unto the ground.
And that's talking about now you've got to live. You've got to more or less work.
Yep.
Before you had plenty. Now you have to work to get money to eat. That's why it says what? In the sweat of the face. Alright? Pull it, read it again.
Genesis 3 verse 19.
Yep.
In the sweat of thy face thou shalt eat bread till thou return unto the ground, for out of it was that taken.
See? So why do they say out of the ground? That's where we from.
From the ground.
Yeah,
The ground.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're full of it. You know? So it says what? Of the sweat of thy face, thou shalt eat bread until thou return to the ground. Alright? So now you have to work just to eat, man. Alright? So like when back in the old days where they used to say, this is my paycheck, I'm gonna work this day and I'm gonna have 3 square meals. All of that before that you didn't have to do that. But now because of this, things. Alright? So money now and to eat more or less. The Lord is saying that not until you die. Alright? How you gonna be working? And our existence is like that today. since you get money, all right, you get money on a Friday, by the next week you hardly got anything left.
Bills or
You
Yeah.
know, earneth wages, earneth it in a bag full.
I got
This
one
is-
and
I got 1 and
six.
6.
Yeah.
Whatever was it? We are yet this day in our
Like
captivity.
Yeah.
And subject to what?
Payment.
Payments.
Subject to payments.
Kids, man.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Exactly. Well, yeah. But yeah, and funny enough, I got one the other day, man.
Mm.
Like, you know what I mean?
Mm.
But then when I looked at the ticket and I saw the evidence, I said, okay, I have to pay it. I did pay it. You know? So that's how things are in this captivity. But in this regard, because of that came in, these are the restrictions that we have to live under now. Okay? And this is the Heavenly Father's decrees, man. So, alright, to eat, you have to work until you die. That's why it said until for the dust,
Thou art, and unto dust thou shalt return.
unto dust thou shalt return. So when you die, where does your body go?
The ground.
Go to the ground, man. You know what I mean? And that's where we're from. Alright?
I just add to that point. It says in verse 19, Genesis 3:19, by the sweat of thy face thou shalt eat bread till thou return unto the ground. But Matthew 4:4 says, but he answered and said, it is written, man shall not live alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of the Most High. So
That's right.
we'll come back to this word and get a better understanding of it.
And we're getting a spiritual meal.
Yeah, and that's why it's supposed to stay our daily bread.
That's what.
In
Well,
the
our daily
prayer.
bread is what we eat.
Yeah.
But when we do things like this, the Heavenly Father, His Son, is supping with us.
Right.
Go on.
Because we're like a meal, and you know, people that are listening to it, they're getting a good meal, you know, and they're getting filled up,
Filled up, yeah.
you know.
That's the real nourishment.
Yeah, so that's a spiritual aspect to it, you know.
Got a precept
Alright, yeah, go on.
based on Genesis 3:19. This is Ecclesiastes 12:7. Then shall the dust return to the earth as it was, and the spirit shall return unto the Most High who gave it.
There you go.
Mm.
So that's what happens, you know. Your spirit, remember your body is a house for a spirit, man.
And
That's
that,
what it is.
And that dispels hell.
Yeah.
Everybody goes in the spirit realm.
Yeah, everyone. Yeah, exactly. Everyone goes to hell because the hell is great. All right, and that's another one as well. All right, verse
20.
no. All right,
Genesis 3 and verse 20.
all right. So we know verse 19 is all about, basically you're gonna live more or less work to eat. All right. Now verse 20.
And Adam called his wife's name Eve,
Yeah.
because she was the mother of all living.
Exactly. So Eve was the mother of the Adamites, man.
Yep.
So she's the mother of the nation. That's why it says what? She's the mother of all living. Now to be living, you have to have the breath, man.
Got
Which
a
is
precept.
the laws, statutes, and commandments. Right? That was only given to. I get Genesis 2:7, please.
Yeah, I'll go ahead. This is Genesis 2:7. And the Lord Yahweh power formed man of the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath, and man became a living soul.
So there you go. And the breath of life is what? The laws, statutes, and
Commandments,
commandments. Man.
wisdom, knowledge, understanding.
It's the way the Lord wants you to operate, man. You know, and back then it was in an oral format. All right. So Eve was, the mother of the Adamites, man. So she was basically what, mother of all living. So that's what her name means, you know. So, let's go into. I'm pretty sure I want to.
What the root was?
No.
Oh.
Let's go into oh yeah. Yeah, go to Genesis 2 and 7
Mm-hmm.
and look up breath.
Go on.
It said Adam got the breath.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Doing it right now. Right, so it says Strong's H5397. It says Neshama, an outline of biblical usage: breath, spirit, breath of God, breath of man, every breathing thing, spirit of man.
See, breath of God, you know?
There's,
Breath of God.
it's like there's a bit more in the Strong's definitions a bit further down.
Mm.
It says a puff of wind, angry or vital breath, divine inspiration, intellect, or inspiration, soul, spirit.
See, so she's Eve is the mother of all living. So to be living, you have to have that breath. Alright?
Without the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead.
Yeah, so basically, if you haven't got this truth, this understanding, you're basically dead. So even the heathens, even though they like to look down upon us, they're spiritually dead, man. Because look at Elam worships. They worship, is it a cow?
They got
Or is
hundreds,
it
they got hundreds of
Yeah,
They worship cows.
yeah, they worship an elephant with like 8 heads or something like that, man. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Decent,
Bugged out.
you know, bugged out belief systems, man. Philosophies, bugged out fruits. And that's what we should stay away from, huh? Alright? Right, but the word Eve means what? A mother of all living. So she is the mother of that. She's a living soul because the breath was given only unto Adam, man. Okay? No one else got that. Alright? Verse 21.
This is 3 verse 21.
Mm-hmm.
Unto Adam also and to his wife did the Lord our power make coats of skins and clothe them.
Yeah, the coats of skins is their identity, man. Alright? Because, you know, they went off and they went into the philosophies of these other heathens, you know, and partook of it. But now those coats of skins is now you were immortal before, but now this is I'm gonna give you immortal clothing now.
Yeah.
Alright? You're not gonna be immortal anymore. Alright? You know who you are? You are the what? The sons of there's 3 classifications of man. What's it? Sons of God,
Sons of
men,
sons of the wicked.
and sons of the wicked. You know, and we are the what? Sons of God.
Mm-hmm.
Alright? We're that holy line. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So those coats and skins are a reminder of their identity. But now, because of their sin, they've put on what? Mortal clothing.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, someone get Romans 6, verse 23.
Keep at it as well.
And 2nd Ezra as well.
I've got Sen's dress right now.
2 and 4.
2 and 45.
Alright, beautiful.
Go on.
What did you want there? 2 and 4, 2 and 45.
Yeah, that one.
Should you read it?
Yeah.
Second Ezra 2 and then verse 45. He answered and said unto me, These be they that have put off the mortal clothing and put on the immortal, and have confessed the name of Most High. Now are they crowned and receive palms.
See, and that's gonna be who? That's gonna be the elect.
The elect. Woo.
Alright. So they're what? They're basically, if you look at this truth and us awakening to this truth, that's the start of us taking off our mortal clothing, you know? Because at the end of the day, the elect is going to be what? Immortal, right? That's going to be how we're going to get perfection. We're not going to get it how it played out in the garden. That was blocked by the Lord for many reasons. But it's up to him. But the elect, when the Yahushua comes back, and they go into chariots, that's when they're gonna get absolute perfection, man. All right, that's when we're gonna get it. We're not gonna get it. No, you know.
Precept.
Yeah, go.
This is Revelation 3 and verse 18. I counsel thee to buy of me gold tried in the fire, that thou mayest be rich, and white raiment, that thou mayest be clothed, and that the nakedness do not appear, and anoint thine eyes with eye salve, that thou mayest see. Yeah, so the white raiment is coming back to the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of this truth, so that our nakedness does not appear again. Because when we were in the world before we knew this truth, we were walking spiritually naked
Definitely.
in a Gentile state of mind until we was the point where we heard this truth and the breath of life entered into, pertaining to Ezekiel the 37th chapter, and we was awakened, you know, and rather than being in a dead state, we came back to the knowledge of who we are. So that's the white raiment.
And that's what all of us are an example of that, man. It's a beautiful thing, you know. But the Lord is basically saying, what, you know, now you're gonna be mortal. So you're not gonna be immortal, you're gonna be mortal now. So now they've got mortal clothing on rather than immortal. Right? Someone get Daniel's 1 Corinthians 50, please.
This is 1 Corinthians 15 and verse 50.
Yeah.
Now this I say, brethren, that flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom of the Most High.
See, so flesh and blood. What does it mean by cannot in the kingdom of the Most High?
Yeah, they're terrestrial bodies.
Exactly. Bodies we have right now is what?
Terrestrial.
Yeah, from the earth.
They're not what's the word?
From the earth.
Terror means the ground or the earth.
Change of darkness.
They're not celestial.
Corrupt.
Yeah, these,
Corruptible.
Yeah, these are not
Mortal. Yeah.
what's the word? They're not good enough to
Yeah.
even touch them, child. So our bodies are gonna have to be changed.
Twinkle of an eye.
So that's why it's what? Flesh and blood.
First, 1 Corinthians 15 and 50. Now this I say, brethren, that flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom of the Most High, neither doth corruption inherit incorruption. Behold, I show you a mystery. We shall not all sleep, but we shall all be changed.
But once again, it comes down to sin, doesn't it? Because the corruptible bodies, corruptible because of sin. So we can't enter the kingdom being able to sin. We have to be able to. We have to be in a state where we won't sin anymore, and we be programmed to not sin.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if we was to go into the kingdom, corruptible bodies, we'd die, and we die because of sin.
Exactly.
But that change, you know, of the spirit and of the body, you know, makes us immortal, and also the law's written in us. So therefore, we can't, you know, we won't be able to die.
I'm gonna go off again. That's the perfection that we're gonna actually have, is to never ever sin. You know? And that's how we're gonna get it. We're not gonna get it how this scenario played out. That's how we're gonna get it. Alright?
Go
on. Read Genesis 3 and 21. Yeah.
Unto Adam, Genesis 3 and 21. Unto Adam also and to his wife did the Lord our power make coats, skins, and clothed them.
Alright, verse 20.
And the Lord our power said, Behold, the man is become as one of us, to know good and evil. And now, lest he put forth his hand and take hold of the tree of life and eat and live forever.
So what was bad about it before? You know, all he knew was righteousness. What, you know, why go away from that? Why? See, and that shows you that sin is complicated, man. And sometimes the complexity of that sin is also a complexity, if you get what I mean. One sin leads on to another, man. Alright? You do one sin and then you're open to another. But through the Lord's sacrifice, the elect, is going to be covered. All right, from all of this stuff. Okay. 15.
23. Therefore the Lord our power sent him forth
Okay.
from the garden.
Go back to verse 22.
Verse 22. And the Lord our power said, Behold, the man is become as one of us,
Yeah.
to know good and evil.
See, so now he knows not just good, now he knows evil, he knows the wicked side. Right. 15.
And now, lest he put forth his hand and take also the tree of life and live forever.
See, so now Adam knows another, another side. Okay. And that side didn't need to be introduced, but it was. All right. Verse 23. So someone said he got a piece of.
Yeah, I had one.
Okay, come on.
This is Psalms 82 and 6. I have said ye are gods, and all of you are of the Most High. You know, that's the way the serpent also used that type of knowledge. I think it says in verse 5 of the same chapter, knowing good and evil as well.
Yeah.
So that's just a point
That
right
was
there.
part of the enticement, man.
Yeah, he probably pumped it as well. You're doing great things, but you can do better. And that's how that whole entertainment industry is as well. You're going for one thing, they lead you down a nasty path. Anyway.
The next verse in that is good in Psalms 82 and 6.
Oh, so verse 7.
Yeah.
This is Psalms 82 and verse 7. But ye shall die like men and fall like one of the princes.
I've got a perfect precept to go with that.
Go on.
One you called for earlier. Romans 6 and 23. For the wages of sin is death, but the gift of the Most High is eternal life through Yahweh Shai HaMashiach.
Woo! Through Yahushua HaMashiach.
Oh, man. Yeah, I mean, that's what it's about. You know.
Oh,
So
mediator.
this is a monumental. But I wouldn't say this is a monumental fall. It is a monumental fall. Everything that happened there was what the Lord wanted it to happen.
Yes.
Yeah, because he's the ultimate movie director.
Yeah.
Right? Man's going to after the Lord, right?
And as our apostles taught us this from into the truth, in order to know righteousness, we have to know what?
Yeah.
Wickedness.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yaqub, that's what he's known for. That video, when I think about Yaqub, I'll be thinking about
High priest elder
yeah.
Akbar.
High priest. Say it again,
High priest elder Akbar.
Yeah, I'm getting my mind's getting a bit tired, man. Suck it. Yeah, so that's what comes to my mind. High priest, Yaqub. He done a video on it, saying in order for us to and appreciate the right hand side, we've got to know, experience the left hand side.
Yeah.
So that's the children, the sweet. So that was part of the Most High's plan in the movie. Long term, that happened, but it was a long term.
Yeah.
That was supposed to happen anyway.
Yeah, well, that's what we're experiencing now.
Yeah.
We know now what righteousness is, and we're experiencing the bitterness of being around absolute wickedness, man. You know what I mean?
If I may, that
Wickedness themselves as well.
yeah.
Like we're in a wicked world, but even when you go home and close the door and you're by yourself, you're having wicked thoughts.
Yeah.
So
You can't
we're
lose.
exposed to it
Can't win.
24/7.
True.
Yeah, you
True.
see?
True.
Yep, that's right. Let's get verse 23.
Verse 23.
Alright. So
Genesis.
So remember now, this is the Lord telling them, look, because of of your trespass, what's gonna happen to you. Alright? You see?
Genesis 3, verse 3. Therefore, the Lord our power sent him forth from the Garden of Eden to till the ground from whence taken.
And what does that sound like? That sounds like again.
Garden.
No, it sounds like again, because of disobedience.
Yes.
Alright, he got kicked out of the garden.
Yeah.
That sounds like the nation of Israel.
Kicked out of the land.
The nation of Israel has always been kicked out of their own land. Because of what? Sin. Disobedience, man. Alright, so the Lord got us out of the land for a while. Look at under, he said 70 years will be under them and what? But why did the Lord do that? Because of what?
Sin.
So, sin, disobedience. Same. So the Lord's saying, It's the same that he's saying here. Alright, continue.
Verse 24 now. So he drove out man, and he placed east of the garden
Yeah.
of Eden cherubims and a flaming sword.
What's cherubims?
Chariot.
Angels.
Angels, yeah.
Angelic being.
Alright. Alright, continue.
And a flaming sword which turned every way to keep the way of the tree of life.
And,
So-
and it's like they're not naked babies.
Right,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
what I was gonna say.
Yeah, they're not naked.
Yeah.
Yeah, because on Esau's how do you say it? Religious arts.
Renaissance art.
Yeah,
Oh,
his
yeah.
Renaissance art.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's always putting angels as naked
Yeah.
babies with wings and things like
Micro
that.
penises.
Yeah, no. This is talking about. No, this is talking about. Look, the way, the Heavenly Father's way, which is the tree of life, which is knowledge, is not going to be obtained by man. All right. So instead, these angels are going to guard it. All right. When is it going to be perfected? It's going to be when Yahushua comes back.
Cool.
When Yahushua comes back and we go to the chariots, all right, that's when we're going to be changed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Someone get that, man. All right, where it says we'll be changed.
Twinkle of the eye. I think you had it.
I got that.
You had it, yeah.
Right now. This is 1 Corinthians 15.
So if you look at the garden, situation, the Lord constantly allowed man to go off and sin, right? And put stipulations on man, all right, to keep him in more or less straightly, but not to give, the actual key, the actual knowledge of it. But the only way we're going to get that now is what? Through that salvation of Yahushua, through what he did. And so when he comes back, it's going to be the culmination. Because he says, I am the what? Alpha and Omega.
Yeah.
I am the what? The beginning and the,
Yeah.
and the end. That's right. Okay. See?
1 Corinthians 15. This is 1 Corinthians 52.
Yep.
In a moment, in the twinkling of an eye,
Yep.
at the last trump, for the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible, and we shall be changed.
So who's that dead, man? Those dead people, who are they going to be?
The ones who have died.
Yeah, they're going to be the ones of the brothers that have been laboring and have passed away. All right? They're going to be them, man. All right? They're going to be raised up. These things are actually going to happen, man. Okay? Continue.
This is 1 Corinthians 15 and 53. For this we must put on incorruption, and
So
this
this corruptible, which is what our flesh now, needs to be put on what?
Incorruptible.
Yeah. For this corruptible must put on incorruption,
Incorruption.
and this mortal must put on immortality.
That's it, immortality. And where's that going to come from? It's going to come from what? The chariot, man.
Come. So,
All right? That's when we're going to get it. All right? So back then, in the garden, that wasn't the way, man. The Lord put stipulations, and man constantly. So that paradise, all right, we haven't experienced it. In the kingdom, what are we going to experience?
immortality.
We're going to experience immortality, man. All right, in the kingdom, we're gonna live good. It's not gonna be anything.
Good is an understatement.
Yeah, good is an understatement.
Whew.
What's that scripture? It says
I got you. I have not heard. This thing.
I think that's the one where it says about the things of the kingdom.
Yeah.
Can't be compared
Yeah, can't be
to the
compared.
suffering that we went through.
Yeah, that
Yeah, Romans 8 and 18.
yeah, that's it.
Nice area.
Yeah, that one. Because it's true. The kingdom is.
Got it here. This is Romans 8 and verse 18. It's for I reckon that the sufferings of this present time
Yeah.
are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us.
There we go. The glory that we're revealing us. Alright. That shows you that we're gonna, be, looking forward to, man. The kingdom. You know, and it's not going to be everything that we're going through now is going to be nothing compared to that glory. All right, but that get it. We're going to get it at the last trump. All right, fill those chariots, man. We're willing. We're off that number. You know, we're willing. Let's see. Anyone else will make any statements?
I'm here to wrap it up.
Oh, I got one. Yeah. Psalms 19,
I can wrap it up.
verse 7. Yeah.
Right. So this is Psalm 19 and 7.
Mm-hmm.
The law of the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, is perfect,
Yep.
converting the soul.
Yep.
The testimony of the Lord is sure, making wise simple.
There you go. So the law of the Lord is perfect, man. Right? Alright? Converting the soul. And he's doing all those things right now. So can you imagine when we're in the kingdom? And how beautiful and that glory is going to be. And all of our people are going to be changed for the better, man. Because right now their mind is sick, man. Alright? Anyone else? Any other precepts? No? Alright. Let's close up.
Right, so yeah, Lord willing, this was edifying. Always we give all praise, honor, glory to you.
Yahweh Bashem Yahushai Bashem Rakakadash.
And double honours to the apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone who were well, and peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom. Shalom.